St. Charles Parish officials recently participated in the River Parish's Media Night, an evening of networking with local media held at the Emergency Operations Center in Hahnville.
The purpose of this event was to bring the media to our EOC and get them associated with some of the key people that they'd be meeting with during an emergency. So EOC directors, public information officers, parish presidents. What we found is during an emergency, unless St. Charles Parish or one of the river parishes is ground zero, we don't really get a lot of media coverage. So our solution was to hold this event and find out how we can make their processes easier. You know, for instance, maybe taking pictures, getting videos on our end to get to them for their live newscasts, it might be the solution. So we brought them here to start that dialogue and kind of figure out what it is that we can do to help them.
After a brief welcome from the parish presidents of St. John the Baptist, St. James, and St. Charles, journalists and meteorologists from the New Orleans area were invited to listen to presentations from each of their respective emergency departments.
We talk about different things that we do in the beginning of hurricane season, before hurricane season starts, making sure we have all our contracts in place, make sure we have all our communication with our sister parish of where we might be getting assistance from, or where we might go to our point-to-point shelter, make sure those agreements are in place, and make sure our staff is trained and have refresher training. Staff didn't change as far as positioning roles with people leaving, retiring, new hires, and everything else. So, and then we communicate with our private sector, that's industry. You know, that's key, especially here in river parishes, is communicating with industry. We need to know what they're doing, and need to know what we're doing, because we all are intertwined and integrated.
Members of the media were also able to ask questions and give suggestions for best practices concerning communication during emergencies.
I know that the other river parishes, we coordinate as far as what information we're putting out. We also coordinate with the media and helping each other out with reporters and sending information that goes region-wide, as well as if we have an event that impacts our parish and not one of the other parishes, we always provide assistance to each other, or email each other and ask if there's something that can be needed if a parish is impacted. I think it's important to maintain the team and the bond between the river parishes, because ultimately we're going to need each other first before we need the rest of the state.
We get to see our counterparts in the other parishes where when it does happen, there is cohesiveness. There is, you know, we know one another and we can work well with one another. It goes back when I was a fire chief, knowing all the fire chiefs around. When it went bad, we're all on the same page. I think they'll learn a little bit about being prepared, and I think they're going to feel a lot better that we are prepared on our end, and government around us as well.
Although media attendance was low, officials plan to work closer with media in the coming weeks.
Unfortunately, attendance from the media was low for this particular night. It's difficult to choose a day that works for all of the TV stations and print media, but we do plan on having this event either as an annual event or a biennial event with the river parishes, and actually have it move to each parish, you know, depending on when we have it. But as far as this year's event, I will be working directly with meteorologists and reporters in the area. Some of them reached out to me afterwards and really wanted some of that information, but were unable to make it. So we will still be reaching out with them and building that relationship.
For more information on emergency preparedness in St. Charles Parish, residents can visit www.stcharlesparish-la.gov/EOC. For more information on hurricane preparedness in St. Charles Parish, residents can visit www.stcharlesparish-la.gov/hurricane. For SCP TV, I'm Bo Robinson.